Welcome back to your next lesson of ukulele. Hopefully you've had some fun and some stressful times practicing freight train. Today we are going back even further, even beyond the classical, the romantic, the baroque, the renaissance, the medieval era. We are going to prehistoric times. Let's hear what the theme song for the bedrock old age sounds like. Yabba dabba doo! Woo woo! Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're a modern Stone Age family. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Let's ride with the family down the street through the courtesy of friends to feed. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba doo time. Dabba doo time, we'll have a gay old time. Alright, and that right there is Meet the Flintstones. Back to prehistoric times. We've never gone that far, and I don't think we're ever going to go that far again. Maybe. Unless we take it back to I'm not going to say nothing right there. Alright, let's zoom into the ukulele and let's see how to play this thing. So before we learn the entire thing, let's break it up once again into our melody and into our chords. So we're in the key of C, alright? There's actually a lot of C's in this and it's not too hard. So if we start off with our melody, we have Flintstones. So that's third fret, that's the G note, that's the third fret on the E string. Flintstones, then you play the open C. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. Anytime you have Flintstones, that's the G note, then the C note, this G, okay? So Flintstones, pinky underneath on the C note, on the A, that's on the A string. Meet the C, A, that's third fret, 0, Flintstones, alright? Flintstones, meet the Flintstones, they're a modern. So when we go for they're a modern, we're going to go 3, 1, 0, 0, they're a modern Stone Age. So they're a modern Stone Age. Stone Age is 1, 3. They're a 0, 0, 1, 3. Da da dum. Family. That's the open C string. Second fret on the C string, the middle finger. Open E string. Family. Alright, so slowly to there. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're a modern Stone Age family. Now notice what I'm doing with my right hand. Thumb is in charge of this string, unless it's strumming everything. Index finger is in charge of the C, middle finger in charge of the E, ring finger in charge of the A. So make sure you keep each finger on its right string so you can have good technique and you get really proficient with having finger independence, okay? So let's do that phrase again. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're a modern Stone Age family. Alright, that's going to be our first lick, alright? That's just a quick thing. That's not necessarily the melody, but an extra thing that makes it sound good. So it's called a lick. So you're going to go play the open A string, play the C, but then hammer with your middle finger onto the second fret of the C. So, remember, a hammer means you don't play it with your right hand. And then go to the E string, play 0, and hammer with your index finger on the first fret. Alright, so 2 hammers there. Hammer, hammer. Alright, that's the end of the first phrase. So it's Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're a modern Stone Age family. Then the second phrase is pretty much the same. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Alright, so instead of going family, when you hear history, you just go C-D-C, history. Alright, C, then second fret on the C string, then back to C. Then we come with our second riff, which is going to take us to our B section. Alright, that's our connecting point to our B section. We're going to play the open E, third fret on the E, which is our G note, then the open A string. Alright, that takes us to our B section. So let's try that second phrase into our B section. 3, go. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Second lick. Alright, then we'll go to this E7. Alright, so for that B section, once we hit that E7, we're gonna have this B note on the second fret of the A string. Let's ride with the family down the street. So that is 2 0 0 on the E string. B E C B. C with your pinky, B with your ring finger. Notice how I'm not removing my ring finger to go to that C. I'm just keeping it down. Then I come back to it. So let's ride with the family. Family is gonna be B A. Let's ride with the family down the street. Alright, down the street. That's 0 2 0 with the ring finger playing the 2. Let's ride with the family down the street. Slowly. Let's ride with the family down the street. Then we have another riff there. Alright. That's going to be us holding an A7, which is just the index finger on the first fret of the C string. And then we play these three, the G, C, and the E string. But with the index finger on that C string on the first fret. Alright, so it goes, let's ride with the family down the street. Alright, then we go to the next one, which is going to be this D chord. Through the, which is just 0 2 0 on the A string, 2 on the C string. Through the curtain. Curta is going to be pinky on the second fret of the A, and then to the 0. So through the curtain. Alright, so remember through the is open A to that second fret of the C. Curtain, pinky on the second fret of the A, 0 on the A. Through the courtesy. Through the courtesy. To C is just the 2 A strings to C. Through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. So of Fred's is the 3rd fret on the E string. Of Fred's 2 feet. Through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. 2 feet, you go to the A string with nothing, and feet, 3rd fret of the E string. Through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. Alright, notice how I'm just keeping my fingers down, so don't get confused. Make sure you know it's 2 feet, A, E. Through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. Then we go for another riff. Just the G, and then hammer onto the 2nd fret of the C. So 0 0, hammer on the 2 with the middle finger. Okay? So let's try that B section really slow, but taking it from that riff that takes us to the B section, which is, alright. Let's ride with the family down the street. Through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. When you're, then we just pretty much go back to like the A section. This is our C section, but very similar to the A section. When you're, which is just the 3rd fret on the E, your is the open C. When you're with the is 3 with the pinky on the A string, and then 0 on the A string. When you're with the Flintstones, and Flintstones again is just 3 and 0 on the C. When you're with the Flintstones, have a, we walk it back, 3 1, have a yabba dabba do time. That's a yabba dabba. Yabba is 2 on the E. Dabba is 1 3 on the E. Yabba dabba do time. Do is open C. Time is middle finger on the 2nd fret of the C. Yabba dabba do time. A dabba do time. A dabba is just a dabba. 0 1 3 on the E string. Do time. We'll have a gay old time. That ending, we'll have a gay. That's a 0 1 3 on the E. We'll have a gay. Gay in this song means happy. Back in the old days, people, a lot of poets would use the word gay to just mean happy. We'll have a gay. 3rd fret on the A. 0 1 3 3 on the A. Old. 5th on the A. Then go all the way up here. Time. All right. We'll have a gay old time. And this is my 15th fret. So 12, 13, 14, 15. And if you don't have a 15th fret, then just end with gay old C major. All right. So let's try that C section. Ready? Go. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time. A dabba do time. We'll have a gay old time. Alright, let's take it from the B section, from that riff. Let's ride with the family down the street, through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time. A dabba do time. We'll have a gay old time. Alright, let's put that whole melody together. A, B, then C section. Ready? Go. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're a modern Stone Age family. Riff number 1. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Riff to the B section. Let's ride with the family down the street, through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time. A dabba do time. We'll have a gay old time. Alright, slow that down and really try and get those riffs. So that first riff was the most. So open G, hammer, hammer, then the one taking us to the B section, and then after we finish that B section, when you're the one that takes us to the C section. So there's always a lick in between most of the sections, okay? Alright, now let's get the chords. So for the chords, super simple. So remember how we did this as our C? Ring finger on the 3rd fret of the E. Alright, and it's the same as this one. And then if you play nothing, it's a C6. We're going to have a lot of C's, alright? So we have Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. So I'm just putting my 3rd finger right there, strumming only from the G, E, G, C, E string, okay, up until the E. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're a modern Stone Age family. So modern, that's just a C6, strumming those 3 strings. Modern Stone Age family. Ba-do-do-do-do. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Alright, so only that 3rd time you play that C6. Let's try it again. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. Now they're a modern Stone Age family. Ba-do-do. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. B section. Here has the most chords. Let's ride. Starts the B section with an E7. Index finger, 1st fret of the G. Middle finger, 2nd fret of the C. Nothing on the E string. Ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A. Let's ride with the family. I'll keep my ring finger where it was, and I'll take my index finger down to the 1st fret of the C. Alright, that's our A7. So let's ride with the family down the street. Then we go to a D, through the... You can hold your D however you want. Alright, but I like it like this because it gives me some access to my pinky. Through the... And remember, D is just the 2nd fret of the G, C, and E string, and nothing on that A string. Through the courtesy. Then we have this G, but without anything on the A string. So that's index finger, 2nd fret of the C, ring finger, 3rd fret of the E, and nothing on the A. This is actually called a G sus2. Alright? So far for that B section, I have an E7, drop the index finger for an A7, then a D, and then a G. Alright? So let's ride with the family down the street, through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. Then C section, same as the A section. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba. But now when you get to these yabbas, just strum a C6. Alright? Yabba dabba do time, a dabba do time. We'll have a gay old time. Alright, so let's put all those chords together one time because it's super easy. Ready? Let's go. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're a modern Stone Age family. Ba-doo-doo, from the town of Bedrock. They're a page right out of history. B section. Let's ride with the family down the street, through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time, a dabba do time. We'll have a gay old time. Alright, so now let's put in both the chords and the melody together. So make sure you have both before you put them together. It makes it way easier, otherwise you'll be on system overload. So starting off, we strum this C chord with the ring finger on the 3rd fret of the E string. Flintstones. Alright, so Flintstones. And when we play that stones, we come up with our index finger on the C string. Flintstones, meet Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. So for meet that, just playing that melody on the A string with my ring finger. Meet the 30 Flintstones. Then the exact same thing for Flintstones. Let's try it slow. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're a modern. Alright, so for there, we go 3, 1, then we strum on modern, those 3 strings. They're a modern, so we have that high note there. Don't strum, they're a modern, don't strum that. They're a modern Stone Age family. That family. Notice how I'm using some of these strikes, okay? They're a modern. Wherever I strum, I can either use my thumb or I can use the finger. If you can get used to using the finger, it makes you better. But using the thumb doesn't mean that you're less, alright? They're a modern Stone Age family. Then we bring in that riff to take us to phrase 2. So let's try the whole of phrase 1. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. Notice how I'm also bringing these smacks, so I'm cutting it. So Flintstones, cut. Meet the Flintstones, cut. They're a modern Stone Age family. Alright, and I strum on that Lee. They're a modern Stone Age family. Then the riff. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Phrase 1 and phrase 2 exactly the same, okay? Except history. You just finish on that C note. History. Then do the riff to take us to that B section. 0, 3, 0, 0, 3 on the E string and 0 on the A string. Alright, so one more time. Flintstones, smile. Meet the Flintstones, cut. They're a modern Stone Age family. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Then the riff. Now E7, and that melody note is on our E7. Let's ride. So I just strum it at E7. Let's ride. I play ride with my middle finger on the E string. Let's ride with the is pinky over there, and then back to the ring finger, and I'm using that ring finger because it's on the A string. With the let's ride with the family. I get to that A7. Family, strum for family, then play Lee as a single note. Let's ride with the family down the street. That's just all ring finger. Family down the street. Then I keep my index finger there and go for that next riff, which is just the A, C, and E string. Family down the street. Then that D, through the. So that D I strum, those 3 strings. Through the I come back to that C string. Through the curve. pinky on the 2nd fret of the A string. Courtesy of the courtesy. And when you're on C, when you hear the word C, you strum this G sus2. Alright? Because that note is up there. To C of Fred's 2 feet. C of Fred's, play that E string twice with middle finger, of Fred's 2 feet, then 2 feet, A, E, with a ring and middle. C of Fred's 2 feet. Let's try from the D to this G. Of the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. Again. With the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. Let's try it from that lick going to that B section. Let's go. Let's ride with the family down the street through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. So remember, on C, you're on that G chord. One last time, even slower. Let's ride with the family down the street. That riff. Through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. Alright, let's put that A and B section together. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Slow. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're a modern Stone Age family. Riff. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Riff to the B section. Let's ride with the family down the streets. Riff number 2. Through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. Then to the C section, we do that short lick. I might say riff and lick, but it pretty much means around about the same thing. And that's the lick that takes us to the C section. Alright, so open G, hammer onto the 2nd fret of the C. Then we go, when you're, just do the same thing as the A section. When you're, and coming up, you're, try to get used to twisting that wrist so you can come back down with some energy. When you're with the Flintstones, alright, with the, is that 3rd fret on the A string, with the, then the 0, 3, 0, strum, then back to that C string. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time. Alright, so yabba, you strum on yabba, on that open C chord. Yabba, yabba, and then I come with my index finger. Yabba, then I come with my middle finger on that E string, open. Yabba dabba do time, then do time, 0, 2 on the C string. You do time, alright. Yabba dabba do time, smack. A dabba do time, smack. I'll have a gay old time. Alright. Yabba dabba do time, smack. A dabba do time, smack. We'll have a gay old time. Now, instead of doing those smacks, you can also give it a strum. Just like we're doing in Freight Train. So when your thumb stops at the top of the neck and your index finger hits those strings. Alright, so you can go yabba dabba do time strum. A dabba do time strum. We'll have a gay old time. Even slower. Yabba dabba do time strum. A dabba do time strum. We'll have a gay old strum. Alright, let's try from that B section to the end. From the riff. From the lick. Let's ride with the family down the street through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time. Dabba do time, we'll have a gay old time. So that round you probably saw me not strumming it, I was just smacking it, and that's fine. But if you can, really try to get those strums, okay? Alright, so now let's go through it one time with me singing it and one time without me singing it. And you don't even have to sing it, it's just the singing helps guide it along, right? All you have to do is be able to play it on the ukulele, because the melody and the chords are on the ukulele. That's the beauty with a chord melody. Alright, so let's go for it. First time nice and slow with singing. 3, go. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're a modern Stone Age family. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. B section. Let's ride with the family down the street, through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time, a dabba do time. We'll have a gay old time. Alright, now without me singing. 3, go. Alright, and that is the Flintstones. If it was too quick for you in that last playthrough, then feel free to use those tools on YouTube where you can slow it down to 0.75 and really get it good. But make sure you get those chords where you strum it where you need to strum it. So like, when you're with the Flintstones, alright, on those Flintstones, you're strumming a lot there. But make sure you know every part where you're strumming and where you're just playing the melody, or where you're playing both the chord and the melody at the same time. So for like that B section, the melody's up there and the chord is at E7, okay? So make sure you have the melody, make sure you know the chords separately, then bring them together. It makes your work way easier if you're able to put the two together, okay? So have fun practicing, and I'll see you soon for the next one.